welcome. I'm starting this message, and as I was meditating, getting ready to, hit go on the TV for the Reiki or whatnot, the ambulance was going in the background, and so I was like, oh yeah, hi Archangel Michael. Oh, look at it. I landed on 777. That's repetitive from earlier, right? Lucky Angels frequency. Lucky Angels frequency healing, emotional detox, release of negative blockages. I couldn't even say release of negative blockages. I don't know, I feel like my collective here is doing a very good job at releasing old patterns of being negative, and able to like speak about it. So earlier we had that message from the fairies. First of all, let me welcome in the Holy Spirit, Archangel Michael, our archangels, our high vibed viewers, listeners, their spirit team, high vibed light beings out there in the universe, as well as our spiritual team, our angels, our ancestors. Thank you for being here today, as well as our fairies, because after I ended that video, I had to do some of my own reading, and we had I forgot what it was, but this learning card right here had me mark this spot. So fairies wanted me to come back on here and explain what fairies are, because I didn't know that they were like frowned upon in churches. So like kind of like, I don't know about the Bible and all that. I didn't dig that deep, but they wanted me to come read this passage. And it's on page 10, so I feel like a completion, maybe about how some of my viewers see fairies. So, those who danced with them under the moonlight were called witches, a word which simply means to bend and change, and it has additional meaning of wise. Thus, witches change things according to their wisdom, manifesting for the earth's highest good. You heard me calling it our highest good lately on every single video, right? And then so funny, the fairies wanted to make a present. They're like, you guys are doing good. Fairies and witches alike were accused of terrible activities, and those rumors were spread to create fear in the hearts of those who were closest to the fairy. The pagans, or the people who lived the countryside, and the heathens, those who lived on the heath, believed in fairies long after most of us were told they existed only between the ears and on the pages of slightly silly stories. But many people misunderstood the fairies. Changeling, okay? Children were said to be nested, cocooned alike within human families, and human children were said to be stolen from fairies. That's crazy. All right, so there was long been exchange and communication between the worlds of human and fairy, where once the veils were softer and sheerer than they presently are. So long ago, they were nicer, more ancient times, to what some of the stories were present about them, right? We have loved each other long and feared each other for such a short time. If we can love each other again, what bliss there shall be, what freedom, what creativity and joy. What health and strength and spirit a place shall return, and how happy and well we shall be. But we have much work to do, for they are in truth have far more fear from us than we have of them. So it's talking about like fairies are actually more scared of us than we are of them, because there's old stories about fairies that people like shine upon. I didn't know missing children and all that stuff, right? I just learned that today. Right. But divination, seeking out and finding answers. So by seeking out and finding answers, you can see how connecting with fairies can actually be a good thing. So remember we had the card earlier that come to me, and then so when I was putting the cards away, I seen it was the main page. Remember it was the number 23. It looked just like this in the last video I have up. So by researching stuff, you know, something that like catches your eye and you research, you actually learn a lot. So if you've been drawn to the fairies, they've been drawn to you. So what's funny is I have this thing. Can I flip this around? I don't really want to do all that. You see me do a few videos where you see like my plant thing in the background. So I have these little like fairy dishes out, and every now and then I put like an offering out to them. It was just something I was drawn to do. The little fairy things are literally from the Dollar Tree, right? And I kind of did it with my daughter. She's seen them, and I was like, ooh, like I've heard of fairies and stuff, and you put little things out in your garden for them. And so, you know, we did this like 6 months ago. All right, so last night, after I put my baby to bed, I was in the living room by myself, and I was picking up. So I know my shelf was standing straight. The shelf where I have these flowers and their little fairy stuff and stuff, right? This morning when I woke up, the whole shelf was like pushed over. Everything was still sitting perfectly up because it was just kind of like it gave out a little bit and fell over. But I really think about it, right? And I just pushed it back up, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, it's never done that. And so I was like, well, see if it does it again, and maybe I need to tighten the screws or whatever. But then when I was meditating and getting ready to do that live, and they told me to go grab the fairy book, it wasn't until I was in the middle of doing that live that I got the message that, duh, you were guided to the fairies, dude. Like, they pushed over their little home to get your attention, to start working with them, you know, like you're ready. And it says in there clearly, it's because you've been calling in the highest good at everyone involved for Earth's purpose, healing, the big wave of healing, enlightenment, raising the vibration. All right, so if you've been guided to fairies, that's why they wanted me to read that to you. I also skipped out on grabbing my decks earlier. So they told me just to do part 2 of the live we had earlier, of the Twin Flame Soulmate deck, because we're going to get some confirmation. I didn't make this deck. I made these ones. But we're going to get confirmation of some communication between the two. So what is something the fairies want to work with you in regards to your divine purpose with your divine counterpart? Remember, it's not all just about love, children, living together, yada, yada. Y'all still have shit to do when you get together. And it's because you're coming together knowing that you have a spiritual purpose apart and together too. Whether you know it when you come together or not, at least one party does. You, the viewer, at least. But they have a message in regards to your divine purpose with your divine counterpart. Child of the Moon, forgiveness transcending the ego. Both of you had to work through forgiveness and working through your ego, and also maybe realizing, yep, 4:11 on the clock, realizing, they're saying, that you guys were meant to have a starseed child from this connection. Whether you stay together internally forever or not, right? That's you guys working on forgiveness and the ego, but definitely transcending a child together. That was one of your main purposes here. So you could be on the collective where you guys are going to come together and have children. Even if you guys come together for a weekend and then don't talk for a long time, or you guys come together and you're together, but the major part of your purpose was bringing a child onto Earth. Your child has a high purpose, so please protect your children. All of your children. You're a high vibe. They're telling me I'm talking to a collective of females who are very selective of who they had children with regardless. So know that all of your children, okay, are here for a purpose. But definitely if you were aligned with your divine partner to come together to have a child. This is for your divine. But I did label all 3. So pick and choose what relationship you're talking about. Bottom of this deck is you're so healing for me. So even finding out this information, or even knowing that your child is going to be a healer and healing you too, healing egos of anyone that's involved with them, You know, there could be exes, there could be siblings, there can be family members, there could be co-workers, there could be friends. They're like, well, my child, I didn't have one with my divine partner. Like, does that mean my child's not? No. Learn your path. But specifically for this thing, there is such thing as karmic children. But I'm a preacher on karmic becoming divine. That if you're hearing the call, okay, you're part of divine. There's it's on the tip of my tongue. There's the chosen and there's divine. Okay, you'll know where you fit in and where your child fits in, and that's something that you'll be able to talk freely about with your child. Okay, and they'll understand, and then that's where they get to take the transcending of healing generational curses and such. So one of the biggest generational curses that we're dealing with in the collective is choosing not to stay on your divine path no matter how hard it is. There's a lot of people that know who their divine partner is, but they're like, oh, they're never gonna match, you know, what I want, and they're never gonna. That's letting go of your ego and forgiving, or like, they're never gonna forgive me for what I did. This collective, you guys are healing for each other. You guys are fixing what wasn't able to be done before in your family. Does that make sense? All right, so what is something your divine counterpart wants to say to you? It's female or male, just whoever is watching, the other person, okay? This karmic wasn't worth it. So whatever was keeping you guys separated, person, place, or thing, it could be a family, just whatever, right? This karmic wasn't worth it. So whatever is keeping you guys apart, it wasn't worth it. They're recognizing now. And I've been wanting to call you. So there's communication wanting to come together. And that's feeling that magnetic pull that the universe is doing. Remember, you guys, we've been talking about finding out where your seed comes from. I feel like when you find out that, you're going to find out that you have a star seed in the galaxy waiting to come down. Personally, I knew about that before I got pregnant. So I knew that my son actually had a miscarriage with him before. So he's been waiting. Like, I had been talking to him, if that makes sense. You guys find that out in your journey. You know what I mean? So, Seeds of Life. This was a product I was guided to use and get a long time ago. I still had some left over. So when I was packing the move, you know, I've been guided to share this with you. And that's because the collective, you guys are there. Like, you're just finding out that a child you had, or you have a child waiting in the 5D. Okay. So you're learning about where your seed came from and the seeds that are to come down through you still. I've been finding ways to access you. So your divine counterpart, they've been watching you. Whether it's physical, social media, or just spiritual. They've been tapping in and getting information. Maybe even just watching a video that's finding ways to access you. So watch out for getting like addicted for watching too many videos about them and stuff, because it could cause addiction later on. You know what I mean? Maybe the karmic is too many videos. Watching you instead of manifesting this to come together. That could be a karmic situation. All right. Talk to me. This one is a deck I made. It is for sale on my website as well as the manufacturer's website. The link is on my About Me. And it's on Etsy. You can find me on Etsy as well. I believe it's $35. I'm going to make a coupon. If you want to buy this deck, I'm going to do 33% off for the decks I have here at home. So you got to order it through me, not the manufacturer. Because I think maybe like a handful or so printed at home. So they'd be mailed directly from me. I'll give you 33% off. Look in the link below. It'll have the coupon code, okay? What is something your divine counterpart wants to say to you at this moment in time? I missed you in bed next to me, so clearly you guys have been together before, you know? And I love you. Aww. I heard I got an angel in my white sheets. There's a song like that, but I don't know what song it is, but I always think of it. Especially when I see this card, I miss you in bed next to me. And coming to see you. So whether, again, this is spiritually, physically, or just finding ways to access you. You know your story. I see you in signs all day, every day, and there is some anxiety around that. You know, it is overwhelming to see how powerful of energy between two people, or even between yourself and divine, or even what you have between yourself and then match that up with the relationship. I mean, it is a little scary. And that's something you got to work through, that forgiveness and the ego. Thank you for your patience. So while you guys have been doing it, you're also thanking each other. I forgot to advertise this. I do have, again, when I was packing up the supplies, I found this tiger's eye necklace, and I had ordered about 10 of them. So I'm going to put them up on the website for a low. Dude, $7. You can get yourself a tiger's eye heart necklace. It moves on here. Okay. And it's a little facet, so it's not stretchy like my bracelets. It's an actual necklace. So check it out on the website for $7. And we'll get that mailed directly to you. So again, that's a limited time. I do have them charging. We do have them for protection and around your love. So the love for yourself and whatever you love in life. So like you love your journey, you love your divine masculine, you love your divine feminine, you love your children. Right, anything that you love. So whoever's going to buy this that touches this, anything that you love is going to be protected. Alright, so thank you for your patience. So protecting your love. I know it's a lot of anxiety. Tiger's eye does help with anxiety and any energies that would bring you anxiety in regards to anything that you love, right? But this reading, your divine counterpart. Taking risks. Travel, seeing each other, going to the next step, even in your relationship. That could be a risk. I feel like this is going off of earlier, you know how I talked about the whole busting your karmic or whatever. So I feel like maybe this is confirming that. The driving, the busted, the game over. Remember how I joked about the odometer being red and stuff? So I feel like something happened to cause an ending somewhere to whatever this karmic situation that wasn't worth it. Something was revealed. We got that part of the reading earlier, right? And so now, and it's not like, okay, well now that that's over, now that they think about me. Nah, man, something made this end. We heard that. It was an intuitive message, an intuitive call to do something, or for something to be shown out in the open, so that way the karmic situation can finally end. You know, everyone kind of took a risk. Either they took a risk to do something that ended their relationship, but it was meant to, or someone took a risk to find out something about a karmic and that ended it, okay? But there was something that had no love between two people, and it was only involved with money, strictly money, okay? But between you two, divine counterparts, family, you're getting that intuitive pull that the family life, whether it's stepchildren, you're not going to have any children, or you know that you're going to pull down a child from above. Because then we also have hearing the galactic messages. Look at all those stars. Every time I see this card, I think of every time I think of this card, or I see this card, I think of Mercury retrograde over? Like, I'd like my speech back. I think of the movie The Lion King, where he's showing him, you know, you're never alone. You can always look up, and your spirit guides are always guiding you if you just listen, right? So you're listening, and they're helping you put the puzzle pieces together in this relationship and out of this relationship. At the end of the day, it's all part of your spiritual divine journey that does have to deal with this person and these karmics, unfortunately. I'm being guided to pull one of these angel tarot cards in regards to your divine journey within your divine partnership of the person you're thinking about. I have the Nine of Cups, God, the kindest giver. Number 68, healing, preserves health, and cures diseases. Remember, we have you're so healing for me. The energy of you two together, y'all could probably like come up with a cure. They told me to take probably out of there. I said that, not spirit. Y'all are gonna come up with cures to cure diseases. That's why a lot of those people are murdered. Nipsey, not Dr. Fushi. Ooh, someone's got a hit for him. They said, "Be careful, Dr. Fushi." But that you're gonna see that in the news. Like he's gonna, you know how they killed Dr. Sabi? Well, Dr. Fushi, he's well known now. They're saying he has secrets. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Dang, they made me nervous talking about anxiety. The gentle God, 6 of Swords. Perception of unity, protects against accidents, heals the sick. If you were guided not to get that injection, there's a reason why. Side note for someone. That's why we're talking about Dr. Fushi. I get it. King of Heaven. God, the King of Heaven. Ace of Cups. So wish fulfillment. After going through some stuff. For love. For the love of God, right? God, a King of Heavens. Rejuvenation. Obtains the mercy of God and gives long life. And the Hangman. Desire for knowledge, protects from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. All of the stuff you went through was part of your divine purpose, alone and together. It's kind of like you guys went through this alone. You studied. You learn how to protect yourself and heal yourself, and then you're able to rejuvenate, gain your mercy back from God, as in even like rebaptizing yourself, you know, from karmic to divine, accepting, you know, when you were acting out of lower energies, or even when your divine counterpart was, and that's part of that forgiveness and transcending the ego, right? Rejuvenation. Obtains the mercy of God. And then we got the Hanged Man. So now you're able to hang other people or help people, because some people hang themselves. They know they're stuck with a karmic situation, they just don't get out of it, you know. So we have the Hanged Man. Desire for knowledge, protects from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. So now you speak about it. I have this vision, and it's not just my vision, it's the collective. Because I see us all together. Dude, I see us. Remember I did that reading about at the park? I see us all of us, we're all at a park together, talking about, so we all don't have to be at the park at one time. Y'all could just be hanging out with your friends, and you come together and you're like, dude, like, this has been part of my journey, you know? Anyways, so coming together and able to bring more awareness to other people who are at the start of their journey, and how to speed it up, because we're trying to get a grand wave, the grand trine. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups. So to get the two counterparts together, the Two of Cups, for the love of God. The swiftly hearkening God. So it's swiftly making stuff happen. Look at all these angel wings coming together, interlapped, intertwined. Fruition provides expansive intelligence and gives the grace of God. So I hope that answers questions about your journey, or about how or where I ended that. Like if you had questions about fairies, or maybe you felt indifferent about the whole fairy thing, or just what the hell is a fairy, and how your divine counterpart feels about you and this journey with your spirit guides wanted to let you know. So if you'd like a personal reading to follow up with this, please reach out at spiritdocxixi.com or even at gmail.com, and I'd be happy to help you. We're going to do some readings of signs, and whoever had the most last month will get a bonus reading this month. So I'll see you guys soon. Talk to you later. Bye.